Either you sell your condo and save this family, or we are getting divorced. That's the ultimatum my husband slammed down, literally, throwing a fat stack of papers on the table. I stared at his angry, twisted face, then at the documents, and one little slip that had fallen out of the folder told me a secret that made him go pale. Hey friends, tell me in the comments what country you're listening from, and enjoy the story. Nikki loved quiet fall evenings. Outside their cozy two-bedroom in rainy Seattle, a soft drizzle washed the city clean. An apple pie was rising in the oven, filling the kitchen with cinnamon. Her husband, Aaron, would be home any minute. 5 years of marriage had flown by. They'd met at a contemporary art show. He walked up first, tall, confident, bright eyes. They talked for 2 hours straight. He told her about big plans at a small tech startup. She, 32, a freelance graphic designer, shared her dream of illustrating a favorite book. A year later they married, took out a mortgage, and built a life. Aaron called her Nick. He was attentive, brought flowers for no reason, bragged about her work. "You're my genius," he'd say, kissing the top of her head. But lately, something had shifted. For 2 months, Aaron was jumpy and tense, late nights. "Tough project," he'd mutter. Phone always in his hand, screen flipped down when she walked in. Rough patch, Nikki told herself. She cooked his favorites, kept the house warm and calm. The tension didn't leave. "Hey babe," came his voice from the hallway. He smiled, but his eyes were tired. They ate pie and sipped tea. He talked about a new client and arguments with his boss. Nikki felt it. He was leaving out the real thing. His phone buzzed. On the screen, Greg Collins. Aaron killed the call and flipped the phone, face down. "Who's Greg?" Nikki asked. "Just a co-worker," he said too fast. "Always calls at the worst time." But Nikki knew his team. There was no Greg Collins. That night in bed, Aaron hugged her. "Nick, you love me, right?" There was panic in his voice. "Of course," she whispered. "What's going on?" "Nothing. I'm just tired." "We'll need to talk soon. About our future." The words chilled her. Something bad stood on their doorstep. Days passed. Aaron got angrier, closed off. Any question about money lit a fuse. "I said I remember," he snapped when she mentioned the mortgage. He stopped sharing. "Everything's fine. I'm just exhausted." Nikki called her best friend Sarah, a lawyer. "He's not himself," Nikki said. "Secret calls. Weird hints about the future. I'm scared it's work. Or a girlfriend," Sarah said. Merciless as only a best friend can. "No," Nikki said, though her heart stuttered. "I'd know. It's something else." "Then be careful," Sarah said flatly. Too perfect usually hides something. On Saturday, Nikki's mother-in-law arrived, Barbara. She didn't visit often. She swept in like a general, eyes scanning for dust. "You should rent that old studio from your grandmother," Barbara said over tea, all casual poison. "Money shouldn't lie around, especially when things aren't smooth." Nikki felt a setup. Barbara knew something and was already steering. 2 days later it broke. Aaron came home early, grey-faced. He dropped a bulging folder on the table. Paper spilled, bank letters, notices, tables of numbers. "What is this?" Nikki asked softly. "Our debt," he said, voice cracking. "Mine." Personal loans, credit cards, payday lenders, interest that looked like a joke, only it wasn't. A total that sucked the air out of the room, over $80,000. "How?" she whispered. He told her a stumbling story. A friend, Greg Collins, pitched a can't-lose crypto startup. Guaranteed returns. Aaron dreamed of paying off the mortgage, buying a car. First he put in their vacation savings, $2,000. Then another loan, then another. One loan covered the last. When banks started saying no, he went to payday places. The startup tanked, Greg vanished, the debt stayed. Why didn't you tell me? I was ashamed, he said. I'm the man. I should provide. I thought I could fix it alone. Then the hammer. Security at the bank called. If I don't start paying, they'll go to court. They can freeze accounts, put a lien on assets, your grandma's place too. Nikki's world tilted. The man she loved had dragged them into a pit and lied the whole way down. What do we do? There's only one way, he said, kneeling, head in her lap. Sell your grandma's condo. Please. It's the only way to save us. Fear stabbed through her. This wasn't just money. This was a line in the sand. I'll review everything first, she said, calm, precise. All of it. That night, she didn't sleep. Spreadsheets, penalties, interest. The numbers were brutal. By dawn, she knew they were trapped. In the morning, she laid it out. We try to consolidate into one normal loan under my name. I've got a clean history. They'll deny me, he muttered. They'll deny you, she said. They might not deny me. Meanwhile, we ask both sides of the family for help to clear the worst payday loans. My parents can't, he said, and Mum, she doesn't have it. They went to Barbara anyway. She listened, played the saint. Oh, my poor boy. When Nikki asked for a short-term loan to kill the payday sharks, Barbara's face hardened. I'm a retiree. I have a little for emergencies. For my funeral, she said, hand to chest. Then the pivot. There's only one real solution. Nikki, sell your condo. It's my grandmother's. It's all I have left of her. Memories are memories, Barbara snapped. Your husband is alive and suffering. Nikki resisted. Barbara pushed. That night, the pressure campaign began. Calls, tears, guilt, and thinly veiled threats. Aaron added the darkest card. If you don't help me, I don't know what I'll do to myself. Nikki cracked. Fine, she told him one night. I'll list the condo. In the morning, she called Sarah. I gave in. Don't, Sarah cut in. They're breaking you on purpose. Breathe. Tell him your attorney needs every document, every statement, every receipt before you move 1 inch. All of it. That evening, Nikki told Aaron. He bristled but handed over the folder the next day. Nikki scanned everything and sent it to Sarah. 2 days of silence from Sarah. At home, the pressure doubled. Barbara called hourly. Aaron turned cold. Why are you stalling? Friday evening, Nikki walked in. Aaron stood in the hallway in a crisp shirt. Barbara sat like a judge on a bench. We're done waiting, he said. Call the realtor now. List it. Or what? Nikki asked. Or we're getting divorced, he said, and flung the folder to the floor. Papers scattered everywhere. Nikki knelt to gather them. Page after page, loans, notices, payment schedules. Then she saw it. Not a bank form. A long, shiny receipt, the kind you get at a store. She picked it up. A sportsbook statement. Dozens of bets, football, hockey, tennis, most of them losses. At the bottom, net loss this month, $3,000. Nikki rose, holding the slip. Bad investments, huh? She said quietly. Aaron froze. The color drained from his face. She handed him the receipt. He read it and stopped breathing. Barbara blinked. What is that? Your son's startup, Nikki said evenly. Sports betting. $3,000 in 1 month. Silence. Then Barbara rounded on Aaron. Tell me this isn't true. He stared at the floor. It's true. Something in Nikki broke and then went still. Not pain, Not panic, just clarity. Get out, she said softly. What? Aaron whispered. Out, she repeated, louder. Both of you. Out of my home. You can't do that, Barbara snapped. He's your husband. He's my ex, Nikki said, voice like glass. I'll be filing tomorrow. You have 1 hour to pack. She called Sarah. You were right, Nikki said. I need a divorce, and I need them gone. Turn on your voice recorder, Sarah said. Let them talk. Every word helps. I'm on my way. When Sarah arrived, 2 security guys with her, Barbara tried another scene. Sarah stayed calm. Nikki is a co-owner on the mortgage and fears for her safety. You are here as guests. You'll be leaving. Now. 30 minutes later, Aaron and Barbara stood in the doorway with bags. You'll regret this, Barbara hissed. I doubt it, Nikki said. The door closed. For the first time in weeks, Nikki could breathe. Round 1 won, Sarah smiled, popping a small bottle of champagne. They drank from the necks, laughing like old college kids. The next month was trench warfare. Aaron and Barbara hired a slippery attorney. Filings, accusations, smear posts online about a cold, calculating wife. Some friends peeled off. Nikki focused on work, changed the locks, and kept moving. The hardest part was proving the debts were for gambling. Sarah fought for bank statements. When they arrived, Nikki's stomach dropped. Daily charges to online casinos and sports books. Fancy dinners, designer stores. Looks like your husband lived a double life, Sarah said. 9-to-5 employee by day, high roller by night. And all that cash? Nikki asked. Sarah narrowed her eyes. Not just salary, for sure. 2 weeks later, they had the answer. Barbara had sold a family cabin 2 years earlier. The money, about $40,000, had trickled into Aaron's accounts. She had been funding him, praying he'd win it back. When that money vanished, mother and son turned to the next plan. Break Nikki and force a sale of her condo. Court day. Sarah was a machine. She laid out the bank statements, the threats, the recording. Then, Barbara's transfers to Aaron. The courtroom went silent. The judge, a calm woman in her 50s, took it all in. Nikki stood and spoke. You asked me to save the family, she said, looking at Aaron and Barbara. But we weren't a family. We were a team of 2, using me. Barbara, you didn't raise a man. You raised a gambler. Aaron, you didn't just lie. You weaponized my love. She held Aaron's gaze. You wanted me to sell the only thing my grandmother left me. I will sell it. But not to save you. To start over. Without you. Without your debts. And without your mother. The judge nodded. The court rules as follows, she said. Marriage dissolved. Debts incurred by the husband for gambling are his personal responsibility. The mortgage condo will be sold. The remaining equity, after the mortgage is paid, will be split equally. And let me add, emotional pressure to seize a spouse's separate property is unacceptable. Families run on trust, not manipulation. Gavel. Done. In the hallway, Aaron asked, Did our 5 years mean nothing? They meant everything, Nikki said quietly, until you turned them into a lie. Goodbye, Aaron. Barbara hissed. You'll cry later. No one will want you. I already have someone, Nikki said. Me. They left the courthouse and got hot chocolate. The cup didn't shake in Nikki's hands anymore. What now? Sarah asked. Sell both places, Nikki said. Pay off the mortgage, split what the judge said, then buy my own place. Clean slate. A year passed. Autumn returned to Seattle, this time bright and gold. Nikki stood on the balcony of her new studio, sunlight, plants, quiet. She'd sold the old home, sold the grandma's condo, paid off the bank, transferred Aaron his half of the equity like the court ordered, and with her share bought this place and made it hers. Work boomed.
Logos for cool coffee shops, illustrations for kids' books, website designs. Her income doubled. She felt truly independent. She wasn't looking for love. She took long walks, met friends, read at night with music low. News about Aaron drifted in. The money he got barely dented the loans. Collectors still called.
He lost his job. Unreliable, distracted. Nikki saw him once on the street, shoulders hunched in a worn jacket. Their eyes met. Shame flashed across his face and he disappeared into the crowd. She felt no triumph, just a light, clear sadness for what could have been. Barbara's life didn't get sweeter. She'd banked everything on her son. Now she was stuck with the fallout, and rumor had it, sleeping on a relative's couch. Back home, Nikki sat at her desk. A new graphics tablet. An open sketch. A princess who slays her own dragon. No prince required. Nikki smiled. A little bit autobiographical. She pressed play on her playlist. A new day waited. Work, plans, hope. The fear was gone. She'd learned the most important thing. Respect yourself. Family isn't who demands your sacrifice. It's who's ready to make one for you. A sunbeam slid across her desk. Life was beautiful, and it finally belonged to her. If you believe every woman has the right to her own happiness and to respect, tap like. In the comments, tell me what true inner strength means to you. And would you, like Nikki, start over from a clean slate?